Whoever scrutinizes himself correctly will not need excuses. Geronda. How is it that while I acknowledge my weakness, I am still prone to make excuses? You have not acknowledged your weakness, and for this reason you make excuses. If you had indeed acknowledged it, you will not make excuses. We love ourselves, we don't want the difficulties, we don't love toil. Often we even wish to acquire wealth without toil. At least we should acknowledge that by confronting things through excuses, we do not tread in the right path spiritually and become more humble. We have neither any labors nor awareness. Can someone study and scrutinize himself and still feel the need to justify himself? Whoever studies the self properly does not justify himself. And you see, there are some intelligent, astute people who in the end will commit the greatest foolishness. For there is also the yearning for personal convenience. What is convenient to me or what serves my wishes? Geronda. The person who justifies himself, does he not see his own faults in the spiritual struggle? No matter what he does, he is deceived by the devil, and justifies everything, self-will, obstinacy, egotism, lies. Wouldn't such a person be helped by seeing himself mirrored in the writings of the Church Fathers, and especially in Holy Scripture? For one who is thinking correctly spiritually, all problems are solved through Holy Scripture and the writings of the Holy Fathers. That is where one can see all these things very clearly. But for one who is not working spiritually and whose soul is not purified, even Holy Scripture cannot help him because he misinterprets everything. It is better for him to tell his thoughts to his spiritual father and not attempt on his own to interpret what he reads. For example, if one reads something from the Old Testament, he can easily misinterpret it and be misguided. I have noticed how some people take something from the spiritual truths they read and interpret it as is convenient for them. It is not a matter of not understanding intellectually what they read, but rather that they intentionally misinterpret it in order to justify themselves. It is a terrible thing. I have also come to perceive that even the spiritual direction given to them will rarely be grasped properly. Let us suppose that I relate an incident to make a point. While I am trying to emphasize one specific thing, some people will seek to isolate one thing from the entire incident that will justify some fault, some shortcoming of theirs in order to bring comfort to their passions and their conscience. They don't think that the person I referred to as an example paid attention to the wrong things, and that's why he ended up where he did. But rather reason something like this: oh, if there are people in such a bad spiritual state, I am much better than they. And that's how they justify themselves. The devil's justifications are endless.